is the Eagles the worst matchup?
Yes, it's the worst matchup.
Like, I do think the 49ers could win. I'm not going to sit here and tell you I've got this blueprint and this reason why the Niners are definitely going to win. But Bucky says yuck. Baldy says yup. And here's what I mean.
What do you make of the Philadelphia matchup for a good Shanahan offense and a defense that, like you said, is kind of being held together with glue and duct tape?
It's probably the best matchup that the Niners could have, because offensively, the Philadelphia Eagles, for lack of a better word, have been yuck.
It's an interesting word, yuck.
And I don't think that he lacked for a better word. Like, for lack of a better word, no, that was the perfect word.
That was the word.
So you didn't lack for a better word if you wanted it to be yuck, like, unless you wanted to use a 3-letter word that's a synonym for a donkey. Like, their offense is a blank blank, like, yuck.
Yuck.
Yeah.
Yeah. Beat the Bills 13-12.
Right.
Yuck. Niners scored 3 against Seattle. Yuck.
Yep. You're saying bet the under.
Not necessarily. As we've learned repeatedly, every matchup is new and different.
Yep.
Which is, quite frankly, it's the only reason why I'll sit here and go, sure, the Niners have a chance this weekend. I get that it's very difficult to come up with a reasoned answer as to why. Like Jordan Elliott tweaked his knee in practice today. He's been added to the injury report. He was limited.
Sure.
Let's do that too. Just to start nose tackle, no big deal.
Yep. Lane Johnson for the Eagles, the right tackle, who's very important to them. He actually practiced today.
Limited, but yes, he's
out there.
Yeah, he's out there.
Trent was not out there.
I mean,
Pearsall was not out there.
Correct. And I think this is a good little kind of window. Cam Inman, his Twitter put it out there. Brock Purdy, remember, had the stinger. He looked fine, so don't worry about Brock. D. Winters, Trent Williams, Ricky Pearsall, Keon White all did not practice. Jordan Elliott tweaks the knee in warm-ups, continued to practice, but was listed as limited. And then this is also important, I think, the order in which the linebackers actually went out there to play. Kendricks and Wallow.
Yep. Sounds like a law firm.
I was just going to say the same thing.
Good afternoon, Kendricks and Wallow. Please hold. Would you like Mr. Kendricks or Miss Wallow?
Please hold. Can we just hold until Fred Warner gets healthy? Kendricks and Wallow are the first ones out there. That's probably going to be your starting linebacker core.
Okay.
Kazir White, who just signed, was last, and Luke Gifford was limited. That's your group. And God knows what happens if one of them gets hurt when they go out there and play this weekend.
I'm sorry, Mr. Wallow's not available to take your call right now. He's in the blue tent. Can I take a message?
So, like, I want to be clear. If somebody just asked me straight up, do you think the Niners are going to win this weekend? No. I don't think they're going to win. Don't throw your hands up, Luke.
Mark, you out here sounding like a hater, my brother.
No. There's two. I'm not saying that they can't, though.
They're allowed to.
I don't think that they're going to, but they could. They could, and I think it's hard to find that sort of like smart reason why. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you're like, the Niners are going to win, if you go, okay, tell me why. Like, because bang, bang, Niner gang, because I believe. Okay, great. Now give me an action.
Yeah.
Give me a reason. It's hard. It's a bunch of injuries.
It is.
It's a bunch of hurt people. So
it's a bunch
hard.
of hurt people, but, I mean, he talked about yuck as the Philly offense, and if you want to go through the numbers and just glancing at some of them, the one thing that they do really well is they don't turn the ball over. They have 15 turnovers on the year, which is great, but yards per play, they're 20-something. Yards per rush, they're in the 20s. And the one that I really like to look at is scoring percentage. What percentage of your drives end in a score? Okay. Touchdown or a field goal. The Niners are number 3, 47.6, and Philadelphia is number 26.
Ooh.
So they don't turn it over, and they don't score a lot, which tells me that they do a lot of punting. So this game, it feels to me like it's a matchup. Every game's a matchup, but the Eagle offense is not that great. The Niner defense, not that great.
Not that great, right.
The Eagle defense, really good. The Niners offense, also really good.
Pretty good. And the Eagles defense, really good, but it does have more holes than the Seahawks. I think it has attackable spots. Will they do it? Will they do it well? I don't know. You heard what Bucky's answer was, and it's always the Kyle Shanahan thing, and that's get a lead. Could they? Sure. You know what this feels like? And I don't even think it's as intense of a situation, but when the Niners went to go play the Rams with Mac Jones as the quarterback, I think this right now is how a lot of Niner fans felt. It was sheepish. You're like, I mean, that'd be great if they won, but like, come on. Mac Jones against this Rams team? Doesn't feel. I remember that week. We did not feel like they were going to win. Then we sat down, and before your seat was warm, it was 14-0.
I was still on Bart.
There you go.
I'm watching it on Bart, and it's like, and I picked the Rams, and so I was like, ooh, this pick doesn't look good. And then the Rams roared back, and I'm okay. Maybe I got this one right. And then overtime, and that game was back and forth and seesaw. And I mean, if you had no scoreboard and you just looked at the game, the Rams probably outplayed them, but the Niners made a couple, 2 or 3 of the huge plays in the ball game.
There you go. So, like, I
think they were 7-point dogs in that one.
I think you're right.
And this one's 4.5.
Yeah, like I do think the 49ers could win. I'm not going to sit here and tell you I've got this blueprint and this reason why the Niners are definitely going to win. But Bucky says, yuck. Baldy says, yup. And here's what I mean. He was asked yesterday on the Joes, is the Eagles the worst matchup?
Yes, it's the worst matchup. It's a 4:30 game on Sunday. The crowd will be juiced out of their minds. I was just there on Sunday doing the game against Washington. There's people in the building, in the Eagles building, that were pissed that they sat all their key starters to be ready for this game. The whole offensive line rested. The receivers rested. The quarterback, the running back. You're going to get a very rested. Jalen Carter is rested. Like he told me, he's healthy. His shoulder's been bothering him all year. He had some procedures done. Jalen Phillips rested. Like they're going to be full. Cooper DeJean, Quinyon Mitchell. Everybody took the week off to get ready for this game. You're going to see the Eagles fully rested. I mean, I would think that Trent will be back and Pearsall will be back, which will help. They don't have Seattle's scheme, which is good.
I love Baldy, but here's why I'll disagree. I think that the Eagles are a difficult matchup. Obviously, the best matchup would be, checks notes, the Carolina Panthers.
Probably.
I'm not saying that this is the easiest matchup, but if you asked me right now, who do the Niners have the better chance to beat, and I listed 3 NFC playoff teams, and you said Philadelphia, the Rams, or Seattle, I definitely would say send me to Philly.
No, thanks.
And here's what, like, I'll explain myself. Here's why. First of all, with the defense being in the situation that it's in, the Rams offense is easily the one that scares me the most. I think Matt Stafford can pick the 49ers defense in its current form apart pretty well.
And he did that twice, pretty much.
Correct. And now, as for Seattle, we just saw this last week. Now you would transfer it up to their building, and I just don't – I don't like either sides of the ball in this current form with the 49ers against the Seahawks. They have the better defense. The Eagles are a very good defense and difficult to attack, but attackable. I do think you can run the ball on them.
Yeah.
And the Niners, you can. The Bears certainly did a couple of weeks ago, and Kyle loves to do that. Will the Niners have Trent? Will they do it? I can't sit here confidently and tell you they will, but I think they can. And here's the last thing I'll say before, because I know you agree with Baldy.
Yeah.
The last thing I'll say is I think that Baldy's immediate reasoning, if you listen to what he said, yes, this is the worst matchup. And then that's the first point that he makes.
He talks about the crowd.
What?
And he talked about how they're all rested and they're getting healthier.
Okay, that's different. That's an actual reason.
Well, you can't talk about Seattle as a hostile environment and then poo-poo Baldy for saying Philadelphia is a hostile environment.
I didn't say anything about Seattle being a hostile environment.
You said playing up there.
I just said we saw it here and now you're playing there. Yes, playing on the road is harder.
Right.
But I'm not.
Yeah, you made it seem like, and playing up there, and you're right.
It's harder. And
playing in Philadelphia is a lot harder than playing out here.
No doubt. I'm not saying it's easy, but here's what I will say. And I speak from experience on this one. I have been to the link. Go ahead, hit it. I've been to the link. I've been to the link multiple Eagle-Cowboy games. And do you want to know what my number one takeaway was? Because it was back when I was working with Bruno, and we would go out there for the Eagle-Cowboy game every year, and Bruno would tell me each time, you don't even know what it's going to be like in that link. The Eagle fans, they don't take nothing. And I know what we've all, especially this station, what we've experienced with what Bonte and Joe dealt with when they went out there. Yep. I'm not saying they're not jerks. There are a lot of jerks at the link, but they're not as scary as they think they are. They do not have the effect on the game that they think they have. It is the playoffs, and I would hope all buildings are loud. If they're not loud, you suck as a fan base.
Oh.
Like really bad. If you can't create excitement in a playoff game in your building, I don't even know what you're doing here. So Seattle is a louder building. There's no question. Seattle is a better defense. The Philadelphia Eagles, because they are so bombastic with the way they go about it, their fan base loves to think that they've got some massive effect on the game. They don't.